Saturday, September 16th. Thanks to Sprinter Bus, Amtrak and Uber, I arrived in Northville early in the afternoon. Grabbed a quick lunch at Stewart's. Then walked across the street and officially signed in at the trail register. I ended a short day of hiking at an Airbnb just outside of town. Sunday, September 17th. My first full day on the trail. In general, it was a nice day and the trail was well marked. I was rather proud of myself after fording West Stony Creek in almost knee-high water without issue. After a quick lunch at West Stony Creek Lean-To, I hit the trail again and ended my day at the Woods Lake tent site. The site was clean and located high off the shore, but the walk down to the water's edge was a bit steep. September 18th. After the overnight rains, the ground was wet as was the outside of my tent and bear bag. Today's hike would take me by Rock Lake and Miko Lake, ending at the Silver Lake Lean-To. There were noticeably more blowdowns and mucky spots. I arrived at the Lean-To at the same time as two other hikers and was happy for the overnight company. Tuesday, September 19th. Today's hike would take me by Canary Pond, another mud lake and White House. I also got spoiled by two suspension bridges, a real treat in the Adirondacks. Unfortunately, there was also rain today. Not enough to need rain gear, but dry sections of the trail were now wet, mucky sections were even more sloppy and dry rocks at water crossings were now slippery. And of course a good dose of blowdowns and mud. My day ended at the Hamilton Lake Stream Lean-To. Wednesday, September 20th. Today's hike was a short one. However, blowdowns made it feel like a longer day. Once I made the trailhead on Route 8, the road walk to Pico Lake was easy. I had a reservation at the inn on Pico Lake and checked in early. Time for a shower, cup of coffee and a comfortable bed.
I was starting to doubt my abilities to complete the trail on the schedule I had planned out. So I spent an extra day in Pico Lake replanning my remaining schedule. My best option was to get to Long Lake and complete the final section to Lake Placid, taking one more day than I had originally planned for that section. I already had a reservation with Paddler's Rest in Long Lake. They moved up my reservation. Bob was able to give me a ride to Long Lake. So I was able to enjoy a 2-night mini vacation in Pico Lake, get up to Long Lake and get ready to hit the trail again.
Saturday, September 23rd. I checked out from Paddler's Rest and walked down to Stewart's for my last coffee and breakfast sandwich. Taylor with Paddler's Rest picked me up and gave me a ride to the trailhead. Today's hike stayed fairly close to the shore of Long Lake on the left. The trail was dry and well marked. I ended my day at Plumley Point No. 2 Lean-To. It sits on a height of land looking towards Long Lake and it's an easy walk down to the shore. Sunday, September 24th. If I'd only known what lies ahead. Today's plan was to end at the Seward Lean-To. I had read on other people's posts that Seward was a favorite because it overlooks Miller's Falls. But based on yesterday's shorter hike and noticing that Oluska Lean-To was just over 2 miles past Seward, I changed today's plan. Soon, I was faced with the usual blowdowns and mucky sections, but the trail became much more overgrown and less marked. Shattuck Clearing, described by some as a picnic area, was totally overgrown. And to make matters worse, it started raining. The trail also became noticeably more rugged. By the time I arrived at Seward Lean-To for lunch, I felt I had already completed a full day's hike. The lean-to was okay, but the privy really needs some maintenance. I pushed on through the muck, blowdowns and ruggedness until I rock-hopped Seward Brook and arrived at the Oluska Lean-To. Monday, September 25th. The ruggedness eased a bit, but not the muck and blowdowns continued. Today's hike took me by the Noah John Rondo Hermitage and Duck Hole. I stopped at a cold river lean-to for lunch and then continued on. Duck Hole is quite a sight. Brings back thoughts of Marcy Dam. Seemed like a lot of berry bushes close by too. I'll bet this attracts bears during berry season. Just past Duck Hole on a short trail that I didn't want to hike down, there looks to be a new lean-to. I continued on for almost 2 miles until I saw a bear on the trail. Luckily for me, clacking my trekking poles did the trick and he ran off. I ended my day at the Moose Pond lean-to, but knowing that there might be a bear close by was on my mind. Instead of cooking dinner, I simply had some of tomorrow's lunch, and it was the only night where I had a hard time falling asleep. Tuesday, September 26th. My last day on the trail. The ruggedness soon eased and a lot of today was more of a walk through the woods, of course with the typical muck and blowdowns. Other than Wanaka Falls, there's not much of note. I took a few longer breaks on the trail, no longer concerned with collecting firewood, setting up camp and having dinner before dusk. Before I knew it, I started hearing cars and was soon at Averyville Road, and then afterwards ended my hike at the Essex County Historical Society building. Now it was time to enjoy a few days in Lake Placid.